Lesson 2.4 is on factoring quadratics. We really like when there are four terms that I can factor by grouping or using a box. If you look at number 5, it says it's 16m squared plus 12m minus 4. So this is only a 3-term polynomial, which we call a trinomial. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how can I break this up, middle term here, into 4 terms. Okay, so I'd have the first term, the 2 terms here, and then the last term. Always double check and make sure that they are in standard form, meaning it goes the x squared, the x to the first power, the no x. Okay, you want to make sure that's in that order. And always check for a greatest common factor first. Try to make your numbers smaller if possible. Okay, so if I look here, I know that 16, 12, and 4, they all have a 4 in common. So I'll just write this up here so you can see. If I break them into 4, okay, as a factor, I can pull a 4 out. It leaves me with 4m squared plus 3m, oops, don't cross out the 1, the 4, minus 1. Okay, these two things are equivalent to each other. I've just changed how it looks. Okay, so now what I want to do is actually come up here and say, what do I have to do to separate this middle term now? Because this is your A, B, and C value. Okay, here's A, B, and C. And this 4 just hangs out on the outside. We'll just keep bringing him down into our final answer. Okay, he'll just be on the outside of whatever our final answer turns out to be. So I'm just going to multiply A and C together. I get negative 4. And I need to find factors of negative 4 that add up to be 3. How about 4 and negative 1? Okay, so I'm going to write 4m squared plus 4m minus 1m minus 1. Okay, and the 4 is still hanging out here on the outside. Okay, we just keep bringing him down. When I do factor by grouping, here are my groups. Okay, it looks like I have a 4 and an m in common for the first guy. M plus 1. Okay, you can't say 0, because if you put in 0 and you re-multiply, you won't get your answer, your problem back. And then let's pull out a negative of this guy, and it changes the sign on the M and the sign on the 1. Okay, so notice that my leftovers match. So what does that mean? It means that there was a 4m distributed to m plus 1, and it means that there was a negative 1 distributed to the m plus 1. Everything here in this pink box is the same as everything here in this pink box. The only difference between the pink boxes and the original problem that they gave me is that we need to remember there was a 4 on the outside that we pulled out. Okay? So the final answer should be the 4 times 4m minus 1 times m plus 1. But let's check it and see. So here's my box that I'm going to use to check. 4m minus 1, m plus 1, 4m squared minus m, 4m minus 1. So it looks like I have the 4, and then remember I multiplied these two together, so I can put a 4m squared, these are like terms, plus 3m minus 1. And then let's go through and distribute that 4 to see if I get the same thing back. 16m squared plus 12m, oops, there's my 1, minus 4. And if I don't know if I can zoom out, let's look back up here, 16m squared plus 12m minus 4. Perfect, so my answer does work. And so I'm going to put it in a green box here and say that this is my answer. I have pulled out the greatest common factor. Each of my factors that are left over are relatively prime. And that's the final answer.